All right. Hello. Welcome.
Listen to your group.
Oh, no, we just have ceiling.
Okay, it's pretty ceiling. That's all right.
That's a pretty ceiling.
We did get new furniture, so
I can tell. It's really cute. I
yeah,
like it.
yeah.
Okay. So I really kind of had a list of things I wanted to talk about, mostly really quickly. We don't need to drag it out if we don't have to, but we can. Um, so my house is very quiet. So let's do things while things are quiet. So first of all, free group coming up starting on Monday. Trying to do these once a month. I did one all by my lonesome self last month because nobody said they wanted to do it with me. I had like 72 people in there. It was crazy.
What? For your that was your butt one.
My butt one, which I've done before, exactly like verbatim. And it was good the last time I did it.
Yeah.
But it was really good this time. And I actually got a couple of customers out of it, which was really nice. So I think it's really important to do the free groups. Now I'm looking at nothing. I think it's really important to do the free groups because I do think it gives you a funnel, and
Momentum.
and people like that. People like the free crap. And then, well, they do. And then they want to come back for more. I mean, now we have an arm. I have so many repeat offenders in my free groups that eventually end up becoming customers because they're like, oh, 7 days isn't enough. I need more than that. And I want the accountability. And so providing them a little bit of a sneak peek kind of into that, what we're doing, is a good thing.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep doing it, huh?
Just keep inviting to free groups.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And like you said the other day, you needed something to invite to. Well, there she is. Oh, look at that hair. That's so cute. I love
Hi, sorry we're tearing down,
I,
but I want to be able to listen, so I'm just going to turn my video off and just listen.
I love your hair. So
Thank you. Hi, you guys.
Hey, miss you, girly.
I know I miss you guys too. Okay, I'm going to turn off and just listen.
One thing that's really funny, Lizzie, is that at one point, I took a picture of it, I'll send it to you. It was just your boob.
Just your boob. Just your boob.
We had people come and they wanted to hear all about our stuff, even though we're tearing down, obviously, and they didn't care. So they talked to me for like 5 minutes. And I was like, I have to tear down and I want to hear my friends. Okay, I'm going to turn it off now and pack up.
All right.
Oh my gosh. She looks so cute. You look so cute, Lizzie. Okay. So that said, you were talking about needing something to invite to. And those are really easy things to invite to. And it doesn't require a lot of time on your part. The only thing it does require, and I'm not saying it requires, but I'm happy to write the content for the groups until you feel like you have more time. And then you can just, use my posts and post them and call it a day. But what I really want you to do is track the people that you put in. So, what I did last time, the people who, not the butt group, but the one before that. It was our crockpot group from Days of Yore. I adjusted it a little bit, added some different recipes that weren't so meaty because it was just me pretty much doing it. But I had like 170 people in that group. It was huge. But the thing is, I want you to track those people. I really want you to track them, in the sense that so Amanda and Amy and somebody else, there were 3 people, maybe Heather, that did the crockpot group. And what I did with them was when I sent my follow-up message to all the people that joined under me, I sent it to them too, so that they could see what I'm sending. So I'll do that this time too. I'll send our little group that we have on Facebook, our little message chat. I'll just send us what I'm using to follow up with people, and then you can riff on it or whatever you want to do, or not, or just don't. But do follow up with the people, because like even the last one where I had 72 people in that butt group, it probably took me all of 45 minutes total to message every single one of them. It was a cut and paste, big deal. But
And do you not get in trouble with Facebook for sending that many?
No, because they're all my friends.
Okay.
It's not spammy. They're my friends. And usually what I do is I'll do, a handful of them one night and a handful the next night and a handful the next night. I don't spend my entire nighttime work time on sending messages out. I'll just spend 15 minutes each night until it's done, so that way I don't get bogged down into one task, because then it just messes up everything else. So I try to keep myself on a little bit of a schedule when I do my work at night. I say, okay, well, I'm going to spend 15 minutes doing follow-ups. I'm going to spend 15 minutes writing content. I'm going to spend 15 minutes doing some kind of training, and then I really do try to stick to that, because otherwise, I'll get bogged down doing something, because I could seriously spend all night doing posts on my like page, just because it's easy and quick, and it feels good to me, because it's like, I really got something done that I can visually see that I did it. So I think sometimes it's easy to do things like that, but maybe not so effective. So free group starting on Monday. You've used the post planner in Facebook, right? Okay, so you can do that for your posts. You don't have to post them live. I'd like for them to come from you guys, from the people who committed to that day. I don't want to post it for you, because then it just looks like it's coming from me. And if you're adding people to the group, it'd be good if you were part of the group, so that'd be good. So that's good. So I loaded mine already in there, and you can just load them whenever you want to. Coach sneak peeks. Okay, so I've been trying to do coach sneak peeks on Instagram and Instagram stories. They automatically post to my like page, because that's how I have Instagram set up. So all my stories automatically. So my Instagram is a business page, and they say you can link it to your Facebook business page. So it just automatically links to my Facebook business page. But I actually will go and post all those same things from my story into my personal Facebook page too. So I always do that, actually, every day. Everything I post on Instagram gets posted on my personal. I just do it right after I'm done. It takes 2 seconds. So I'm doing my coach sneak peeks in there, and I'll tell you that I had so in the past, when I've done coach sneak peeks, I've had 4 people in there or something. And, it's like an hour-long thing, and maybe 2 people show up. And usually at some point in time they leave. They never listen to the whole thing. The last coach sneak peek I did, and it was a total experiment, I had 24 people. They all stayed in it and listened to the whole thing. So I just would post in the morning, I would post 3 topics. And then in the afternoon, I'd post 3 topics. And then in the evening, 3 topics. And I ended up rolling it into the next day, because I couldn't get enough out in 15 seconds to be able to, so I ended up, and I didn't want to have too many things up in the story, all those little tiny, because then people leave. So I rolled it into the next day and did another 3 topics in the morning. And I had 24 people that stuck with the whole thing. That's way more people than I've ever had listen to, and nothing came of it, but I had 24 people that listened to a coach sneak peek, which for me was a big deal. I'm like, sweet, I've never had that many people listen. So I'm going to keep doing that. You're obviously welcome to listen. I don't think that doing coach sneak peeks on Facebook right now at our level of coaching is effective. Even if we do it as a team, I think the best way to do it is in some sort of stories, whether it's Facebook stories or Instagram stories. And, I think the more unique your story is, the more interesting it is for other people to listen to. Like Lizzie's story is super unique. And for her, great stop, for her to,
Speaking of unique,
right, for her to be able to share, this is what my coaching life looks like. And a day in the life of Lizzie, being a Beachbody coach, and being a music director, and being, the mother of the star of the show, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's really interesting. I look at Lizzie's stories every day because they crack me up. and inspire too. They're awesome. So I just wanted to tell you guys what we're doing in terms of sneak peeks. I know, Kimberly, that's not like top on your mind right now, but that's what we're doing. That's what's working. And, for seriously, okay, so 15 seconds, 3 times 45 seconds, 45 seconds, 45 seconds. That's my coach sneak peek. How long is that? Like less than 10 minutes of my day that I spent doing a coach sneak peek that 24 people listen to. Eventually, that's going to pay off, I think, if I keep doing it. So I'm doing them once a month, and I'm spending 10 minutes doing a coach sneak peek. Like, big whoop, right? I think Instagram's actually saving me a lot of time because it's really easy. The stories are so easy, and I feel like it's really effective at getting people to follow you. I do hashtags on my stories, and even in the coach sneak peek, I put hashtags on it because I think that's what people look for. I'm sorry, I'm trying to plug my computer into a fan. I think that's what people look for when they're looking for people to follow is the hashtags, and they follow hashtags. So anyway, okay, coach sneak peek, done. To be mindset. I know Kimberly's super excited about it. Have you bought it yet? You must have, because you're waiting to hear back to get in the group.
I'm in the group, yeah.
So you did get in, okay, because this morning you hadn't yet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how it worked, and then basically pretty much as soon as I put my request in to join, I got my email, and I'm in, so.
Nice. I'm excited for that because I don't know that I'm going to do it. I mean, eventually I probably will buy it just so I have it. But how much was it?
I think it ended up costing me with tax almost $80.
Oh, that's not bad. So I'm going to use you as a resource for the team in the 2B mindset stuff. So maybe on the next call, which is actually next week, because I'm going to be gone the following week at a refinery Star Diamond retreat in Florida on Thursday. Actually, we're going on Thursday. So we're going to have a call next week, but maybe you could give us kind of an update of what's going on in there. Are either of you in the Obsessed with Coaching group with Autumn?
I mean, I am, but I'm not active at all.
The Obsessed with Coaching or the Path to Progress?
No, I guess just the 80-day obsession.
So there's two new groups that she's got going right now. This is why I'm not doing the 2B Mindset group is because she's got two new groups. One of them is called Path to Progress, and it's basically the space in between. Hold on, I'm trying to. Oh my gosh, Mason. He went to 4-H and he didn't tell me he was there, and he's still not home. It's very strange. I may have to go look for him. But anyway, they have two groups. She has two groups. Path to Progress, which is kind of the space in between finishing 80-day obsession and doing it again, but what comes in between. And so it's all exercise stuff. So but that's what that is. So we're starting again on August 1st. And so it's all the stuff that's in between the next 80-day obsession group. But Obsessed with Coaching is actually a group with Autumn that you have to qualify for. That is her teaching us how to be better business leaders. And she has the top of the top of the top coaches talking to us once a week on Sundays. And then she's talking to us about being a better business person because she was an entrepreneur, or she is an entrepreneur still. But she was an entrepreneur before Beachbody and her paired up. She owned gyms. So that's why I'm not doing 2B Mindset, because I'm like, this is too much. So I would love it for you to be the point person on that. I will be the point person for the Obsessed with Coaching group. And maybe we can give quick updates on what's going on in those two groups to the team, which would be great, I think.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
I do want to, I want to put some time into it right now so that I can really start talking to people about it, really soon. And so I'm just starting to kind of just breadcrumb more mindset stuff. I watched her intro for us in the program itself.
Uh-huh.
was a little thrown off by her story personally. So that concerns me a little bit, but I need to give it,
What concerns you about it?
just that she just struggled for so long with weight, like since being a kid.
Yeah,
And
I saw that.
I think she's still really, it just seems like she still kind of carries some of that with her. You know what I'm saying?
Emotionally?
I don't know, just the way she was talking about how she still has to just be really careful about what she eats. And, it just seemed a little, I don't know, it just confused me a little bit with what she's doing. So
We heard some people talk in Mexico, actually, that had done the program, that were there in Mexico, that did the whole thing or done it with her, that were in the test group. And there wasn't really any indication of it being like OCD type, pay attention, like, oh my gosh, right? She made it sound like, oh, I'm eating whatever I want and I'm still losing weight. And I've been an emotional eater my whole life and blah, blah, blah. And
yeah, I mean, that's the stuff that I'm really excited about,
yeah,
is just, that mindset component, and, just changing relationship with food in a very sustainable, way for people that are emotional eaters, or, emotional eaters, drinkers, whatever the case may be.
whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of that's what this woman who talked about it in Mexico made it sound like, that it was just like totally a kind of reconfiguration of your brain for people who are emotional whatevers, whatever.
Yeah.
And that it was life changing for this woman.
I think that's going to be really good. And I just think that there are a lot of people that that sometimes get a little thrown off by like how much exercise there are in some of our programs. And actually, I mean, I'm just thinking back even, on myself, and that would have been in a lot of ways a better way to have gotten me in, maybe started, because I was just thinking, well, geez, I don't do P90X. Like, I can't do that workout. Like, what would I do with Beachbody? How's that going to help me? I don't want to do P90X.
Right. Yeah. And I agree with you. And I think there's a very, very, very large percentage of people who have avoided Beachbody because of the exercise component of it. Except for your kicking butt now, girl.
You're welcome.
That was subtle. So I do think that's that my doggy had surgery today.
Aww.
I know. He's okay though. He just got up for a second to lay back down. But anyway, so I do think that it's like a game changer. And there's a group that I'm in called Action Academy West, and it's a Star Diamond group with the corporate people. Mary Day is my corporate girl. She's awesome. There's been a bunch of people in that group that have been talking about how it's like already been a killer month for them because of To Be Mindset, and it's only been out for 2 days. So I know. So I definitely think it's something that's worth listening to all the trainings on and being very familiar with it. I'm glad you're doing it because I think it's going to be helpful for our team that we've got somebody in there doing it with her that can kind of share what's going on and that sort of thing. So that's awesome. So I'm glad you're doing it. I'm trying to listen to the training. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to, I promise. Let's see. Y'all know about the new program, Lift 4. Have you seen stuff about that? Speaking of weightlifting.
No, I haven't seen anything about that. Lift 4.
So there's a new program coming out in July. It's called Lift 4. And it's spelled Liift. It is a combination of HIIT training and lifting weights. And it's Joel. It's a 60-day program. It's all unique workouts, 60 unique workouts, just like 80-day obsession was. It's kind of funny because I'm doing Shift Shop right now. In the first month of this Path to Progress, they're actually doing Chisel, but I'm not.
Yeah, I saw your video on it.
It does not work for me. I've tried to make it work. It doesn't work for me. So maybe it's just me, and that's okay. That's okay. But it's funny because I've gotten spoiled with all the unique workouts in 80-day obsession that I'm repeating workouts going, okay, gosh, I have to do this 3 times this week, because I'm so spoiled with the unique workouts in 80-day obsession. But Lift 4 is also 60 unique workouts. It's the same format as 80-day obsession in terms of the filming and the content. It's not the same type of exercise, but and then it comes out in July, and this is something that's new with Beachbody, and we heard this in Mexico, and maybe you've heard it too, but I just wanted to reiterate it. So what they're doing is they're doing pre-launches. So their official launch of Lift 4 is actually October 1st. If I didn't text you back, it means don't call me. So that was rude, but seriously. Let's see. The official launch is October 1st, but there's a pre-launch in July. And this is how I think everything's going to go now. And I don't know if you ever saw a couple, maybe 6 weeks ago or so, there was some verbiage on the Coach Online office was talking about that no longer using the word all access because, and I think it was primarily because of 2B mindset, because you have to get pay to get access to that. But the way that they're doing the releases of the exercise programs is now different. So there's this pre-launch period that's from July to October, and you can pay to have early access to Lift 4. And I think it's going to be like $19.95, and it may actually be less for coaches, but I'm not sure. That's just what I've heard. And in all the FAQs, you cannot see the pricing. It does not have pricing for early access. And then everybody gets access to it on October 1st. So then it becomes part of the deal. But if you purchase a challenge pack, if you purchase a Lift 4 Beachbody On Demand challenge pack, you do get early access and you don't have to pay extra. So if you have customers who really want to do Lift 4 and they're not Beachbody On Demand, you can, or if they don't want to do Lift 4, but you want them to have access to everything, you have them get the Lift 4 challenge pack. They'll get access to that early. They'll get their Shakeology. They'll get their year of Beachbody On Demand. So yeah, they've actually said stop using the terms Beachbody On Demand All Access. It's just called Annual Beachbody On Demand Challenge Pack. But that's why. So there's that. And then I was going to talk about Summit, but neither one of y'all are going. So I won't. But I was just going to talk about how important it is to go. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to tell y'all right now. When they come out with the pricing for Summit at Summit, you should buy your ticket. Even though you're not at Summit, you can still buy your ticket for next year because it's going to be $145. And then, you'll have less of an excuse not to, you know what I meant? I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, but I already knew. I knew last year.
You knew because you knew the dates right away that you couldn't make the dates. Yeah, I knew. I remember that.
It's Beachbody and Nats's fault for scheduling.
That was dumb. What were they thinking?
It's my sister's fault for having a baby.
Right? I mean, really? And Amanda, it's her fault for going to Africa. Amy doesn't have an excuse. I'll call her out later. I'll probably make her go. But y'all are going to love Amanda and Amy when you meet them in person. They are so awesome. Amy's hilarious. Amanda, I actually don't know other than through here, but she's one of Amy's good friends, and she's hilarious like Amy, so there's that.
Hey, Murph.
The star of the show. It's Total. Aw, sweet boy. Aw. All right, one last thing I want to talk about, and it's kind of the meat of the call, actually. And it's something that I mentioned to you earlier today, Miss Kimberly, is just getting back to the 4 vitals and just sticking to it and not doing the 4 vitals for anybody else but your own little self. oh gosh, this is the same person who keeps calling me. Hold, please. I just need to tell her I'm in a meeting. I'm in a meeting. Can I call you back? Sheesh. There. I wanted to talk about the 4 vitals, and I wanted to just encourage you to do the 4 vitals, but don't do them for anybody else but yourself. Don't do them for your rank. Don't do them for me. Don't do them for your husband. Don't do them for Beachbody. Do them for you, because if you do the 4 vitals, it's going to help you grow as a person, period. And like you said earlier today, Kimberly, that, it wasn't today, it was last night or the night before when we were talking about the Brendan Burchard thing. I'm gonna harass Lizzie about that in a second. Sorry, I was having a thought. You can't go. Or are you gonna be on tour? Yeah, okay. Then I won't harass you. I'll harass some other people. I think we will end up with a roommate, Kimberly. You and I are gonna share a bed, and then we'll have the other roommate stay in there, in the other bed.
Okay.
Oh, sheesh. Hold, please. I do have to answer this question real quick. There we go. Okay, so the 4 vitals, doing them for yourself because it's going to make you a better person. So something Kimberly said 2 nights ago when we were talking about the Brendan Burchard thing, she said I think I'm going to do this Brendan Burchard thing, maybe not entirely for Beachbody purposes or for my business necessarily, but because it's going to make me a better person or something like that, that it would help you outside of the Beachbody thing, that it's just a good thing to do. And so that's good and really good. And it made me start thinking about the 4 vitals and how, while they are good for your business, they're also really good for your humanness, and your momminess and your girlfriendness and your music directorness. They're just good things. So I wanted to talk about I know that you guys know the 4 vitals, but I just wanted to talk about them for just a second, especially as it relates to us, because we're not brand new coaches that don't know the 4 vitals. We've done the 4 vitals, and maybe at times more than times did them really well, times kind of didn't. Oh my gosh, she will not leave me alone. Okay. Okay. So being a product of the product, I think that's something that's pretty easy to do. And I know, Kimberly, that you've been tired. And it's probably because you have 4 children and a full-time job, and you're in a new city and all the change. And I get that. I totally get that. But something that I said to you today was, and this is just coming from somebody who really loves to exercise, but I think exercise gives me more energy. Before we got on this call tonight, I was like, I'm super tired. I think it's just spring break being over and having to get up at 5:15 again. But I was tired before the call, and so I actually did yoga, like I put on a yoga workout, and it actually gave me a little more energy to talk to you guys. So I think that it sucks to be tired, absolutely. But I think that it's a vicious cycle. And if you can put yourself into the cycle of squeezing in that 30 minutes of exercise, that it actually might help you wake up and give you a little more energy for your day. And maybe not the first few days, maybe it'll make you more tired, but then you'll get back to it. But I think that 1 vital actually changes so much for so many people. Just being committed to exercise, to eat right, to drink superfoods every day. It's really not that hard. And really, honestly, it has nothing to do with the business. It's all about you and making you a better person, inside and out, from the inside out, I should say, and making you a better mommy, a better teacher, a better music director, a better everything, horse rider, whatever. So I think that is a really, really important one. I think the second most important one, personally, and I'm not giving them in order because I think that of importance, this is how you should focus on them. I really think that you should focus on you first, which is being a product of the product. And not even saying like, oh, I'm being a product of the product. No, just focusing on you. Just saying, you know what? This is my time. I need this 30 minutes. I need to eat my good food. I need to drink my shake. Those are the things I need to do for me to make me a better person. Number 2 is the personal development. And I have gone, when I first started Beachbody, I read a little bit and then I was like, this is stupid. I'm not doing it. So I didn't do it for like a whole year. And then I started doing it again and I realized, my gosh, this really makes a difference. And then I fall off sometimes, like around Christmas or Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. I was like, not doing anything. And then I decided in January that I was going to try to read at least a book a month, which isn't that much when you think about it. But man alive, has it changed the way that I think. And not just about this business, about the way I treat my kids, the way that I am with my husband. And some of them haven't had anything to do with business at all. So I think that, whatever you read, like I read a marriage book in January. I mean, it had nothing to do with Beachbody, but what is it? Oh, nice.
Daring Greatly.
Is it good?
Really good.
Who's the author?
Brené Brown or Brené Brown.
Brené Brown, yes. I have not read any of hers, but my goodness gracious, I've heard amazing things about her.
They're a little clinical.
I don't care.
They're a little bit clinical, and so it's hard for me to read unless I can like give it my full focus.
That's like, I'm reading Mindset right now, and that's very scientific. So that one's...
Yeah, I finished Big Magic in 1 week, just during like the 2 and 3 minute chunks during the show when I don't play piano.
That's a good book.
It was so good. I loved it. Oh my God, it was so good. But this one is like good and like, oh shit.
She's a psychologist, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I've heard really good things about that book from a lot of people, actually. So I'm glad you're reading that. I'm reading Do-Over by John Acuff. So we had he's one of our speakers at Summit, and we had what are you laughing at? Did I say it wrong?
Scoop farted.
I did? I farted?
No, Scoob.
Oh, I didn't even hear it. Darn it.
Scoob, come on.
Rude.
Oh, man, that would have made my night. I didn't
Kid
even
loves a
hear
good
it.
fart.
I do love a good fart. I do. It's true.
I know she does.
It's true.
Okay,
I really do. It's sad, but true. But anyway, I started reading Do-Over. I wanted to read Start first, which is the one I recommended to you, Kimberly, but I didn't do that because that's the one that came first to the library was Do-Over. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll read that one. But I have consistently had, oh, I look funny right now. The Wi-Fi.
You look cute.
I look weird. Anyway,
You have a halo.
right, exactly. So, but I have had a personal development book in my hands since the beginning of the year. I was reading Brendan Burchard's book that we got from the 1x3x5 group. And now I can't remember the title. We also got an audio version of it for free. And so I was doing that one, but then this one came from the library and I figured I had to read it first. So I'm doing that. But I have not had a personal development book in my hands since January. And it's making a huge difference in a lot of areas of my life, not just my business, but a lot of areas of my life. So I think, again, focus on you, like focus on making you better. You know, those are 2 of the 4 vitals. The third one's inviting, and I am going to make sure that you have something to invite to, even if it's just a free group, okay? And the thing about that is, and this can be a focus on you too, we're probably about to get cut off here, but the reason why you can see it as a focus on you is because you're getting involved in a free group, number 1, but number 2, you're helping other people do something that's good for them. Period. And it's not a lot of effort. You know, these free groups are so easy. And the payoff is actually pretty good for the amount of time that you invest in it. So I highly recommend, even if you're not participating in the group as a poster, invite people to it, put people in it, follow up with them when the group's over, just be a part of it. Every single month, there's going to be a free group to invite to. And the recognition part, that's a new vital. When I started Beachbody, we only had 3 vitals. And the recognition is a new one. That's kind of my job. And you guys can recognize people all you want, but I will recognize you. And I slacked off a little bit the last 6 weeks, but I'll get back to it, I promise. Because Kimberly, you had a good week.
Real quick.
Or this week. Is it this week that you're having a good week volume? Or is it last week?
It's one of the other. I think.
Yeah. So I'm going to get back to that. So I have, so I'll be, doing that too, but you can recognize people that you see doing a good job at something. Like you can say, hey, we just did a free group and my friend blah, 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 did this, and that. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm making your dinner.
Oh, you're home. Hi, Mason.
Yeah. We thought you were in a ditch because you didn't tell me that you were there.
No, my check engine.
Okay, but you still didn't tell me you were there, so I thought you were in a ditch.
I'm sorry, I left my phone in my car.
All my friends thought you were in a ditch.
I'm not in a ditch, I'm here.
Anyway.
I left my phone in my car.
You're not in a ditch.
We're glad you're not in a ditch.
You might be in a ditch.
Right? See?
In about 2 minutes.
I don't think so. Why? Because I'm going to put him in a ditch? He's in trouble. Your life is not in a ditch. So anyway, that looks better. So those 4 vitals, 3 of them specifically, excuse me, I must create food for my son. The 3 of those 4 vitals, I think, are really about you and about focusing on you and making you better. And if you stop looking at them as part of your business, you'll probably be more successful at them and then be better at your business too in the long run. So that was really what I wanted to talk about because I think it's really important. And I think if, being a part of this and being a coach isn't just about making money and about selling challenge packs. It's about creating a better you, period. And I think that's where we all kind of need to focus a little bit right now, is on, making us better as humans. So that's all I wanted to say. I want you guys to be awesome humans. For yourself, for your family,
One thing.
Huh? Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
One thing.
I'm going through the coach back office training because, I didn't ever do it and I didn't know what it was, and looking for challenge group guides and stuff. And then I realized, there's all this stuff about training and then the emerald to diamond thing.
Oh yeah.
So I started looking it up and almost all the trainings haven't been updated with the 4th vital.
See, it is the 3 vitals, right?
So.
Yeah, the recognition one wasn't a deal until recently. But anyway, okay, we're going to get cut off in a second, but thank you for being here. It's nice to see you guys.
Yay,
We're going to have a call next week because I'm going to miss the following week, which would be our normal call. So we'll have one next week and then we'll skip a week and then we'll go back to every other week. Okie dokie.
What am I going to be doing? I'm going to be in Chicago.